Ken Lashley here watching Who Dat Comics. Who Dat?
What's up, everybody? Who Dat Comics movies coming at you. Got a little unboxing. I really don't remember what's in it, so we're just gonna open it up. That's all I got, man. We're just gonna open it up. I got one thing to pack whenever the person pays. So shout out to Elite Comics 11. Quick shout out to Elite Comics 11. Did a sale with them yesterday, and sold one item. Whenever that person pays, I'll pack it up. So yeah, just waiting on that. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Hey, I don't mind showing this off. So this is a book. It's from a guy who sells with Elite Comic 11, also buys from time to time. But yeah, he saw me watching a sale and messaged me about some books he had for sale. He had another book that I'm very, very, very interested in, but man, I've been trying to sell some bigger books and been having little bumps in the road, but the smaller books have been going pretty good. So I was able to buy this for a steal, in my opinion. It is a first appearance. I already have this book, but it doesn't hurt to have a second copy. It does not hurt to have a second copy. So we have the 1 in 100 Age of Ultron number 10, the Quesada variant. First Marvel Comics appearance of Angela. There she is. Like I said, the 1 in 100 sketch reach around cover. So I got this for a sweet deal, like I said, from a seller. Seller buyer that I've dealt with before. They're Elite, and I apologize for the yawn. I am freaking tired. It's been a long day. So yeah, got the 1 in 100. So I'm very happy to add a second copy of this. Hopefully Angela does join the MCU. That would be amazing. Because I had a 1 in 50, the colored version. I'm selling that one. The person who bought it actually was interested in my 1 in 100. So I'm actually happy to have a second copy. Hopefully some things turn around and I can buy his other variant that he has of a first appearance of a character of 1 in 100 as well. That doesn't come up for sale often. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's a 9.8. Yes. Very happy with that. First Angela in Marvel Comics. So that, and this actually, I think he shipped this like 2 days ago. So very happy to get that pretty quickly. And I say pretty quickly. Made it to the house very quickly, I have to say. Tonight we have The Hunt. Trying to get this bubble wrap better. Because you can always reuse this bubble wrap, baby. You can always reuse this. But yeah, tonight we have The Hunt. I think Bleakers versus Mr. Professor Pig, I guess. We have a ladder match, and they have a tag match. I'm not sure if any other matches are going on. They also have an episode of Dark Side of the Hunt, which will be airing as well. What's up, Geek Aficionado? What's going on, man? How you doing? That's going on tonight with The Hunt. The books that I actually currently am selling, I could show them off, but some big books like FF2, FF6. What else? I have FF2, FF6. I'm actually trying to sell one of the Blue Marvel ones. No, not strong actively. What else am I selling? I got some other stuff. So definitely check out Elite. Oh, I got a Clone Wars 2. That's 4 signatures. Start over. Here is the start over. That's all I did. Unbox one book. Now I'm just chatting. So first appearance of Angela in Marvel Comics, the 1 in 100 Quesada sketch variant that I got for a crazy deal. I don't want to say the crazy deal, but I got a crazy deal on it. So it's good. Like I said, good to have 2 of those. It's kind of like a little small investment book. Don't have a lot into it, so especially the raw copy that I ended up getting a 9.8. But yeah, it's always good to have multiple investment books / books that you collect. I actually collect female first appearances, so I'm actually happy to have a second copy that I can kind of use as an investment chip to get other books. So yeah, I'm like actively, like I was saying, actively selling a few of the FF books. Journey of Mystery, I think 102. I have a few other stuff that I'm actively trying to move along. I do have a nice little order of books that are going to Dustin next week. I'll probably mail that off Monday or Tuesday. I think it's a total of almost 20 books. So that's going to be nice when I get those back. So it'll be a nice little extra inventory. What's up, Micah the Great? How you doing? Everything's doing fine, Micah. Micah also has some good books that he was selling. I don't know if he has a couple of them. I was very interested in one of his books, but I like to do things while I sell and buy. And when those other books are not selling, I can't buy the books like Micah or others have. So it's kind of been I've been on a like dry spell of that doing that, but been kind of not as much as motivated as well, especially getting stuff pressed and clean and graded. But I will be probably doing the paperwork right after this video. So if anybody wants to join and just chit chat, more than welcome to join. Because I'll just be doing the paperwork for Dustin. Because I got all my CGC paperwork done. I just need to do my paperwork with Dustin, and so I can mail it out next week. K-Pop is in the house. What's up, K-Pop? Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. I do appreciate everybody stopping through. K-Pop has a great channel. She does a lot of different things, so definitely check her out. Geek Aficionado. I don't know if he's doing anything on the YouTube again, but him and Micah have some good Instagrams. So definitely check those guys out on the Instagram, which I do a lot on Instagram as well. So, but yeah, tonight we have the hunt, tag match, ladder. Was it ladder match and the big main event with Professor Pig and Bleeker. That's going to be a good one. I think that's a cover title match. Cover match. So that's going to be good. Also, I'm getting all right, yeah. So check out Geek. He said you just started releasing videos again. I actually have about 3 videos I need to release. So I'll be releasing, I know at least two of them after the hunt. So I don't know if it'd be directly after the hunt, but what's up, Callie? I don't know if it'd be right after the hunt, but I'll have 2 videos that I definitely will be releasing tomorrow, or right, at least one of them might be right after the hunt. So definitely check those videos out tonight. I'll be doing as premiere, so I can talk to the people in the chat. Yeah, guys, in case you missed the hunt, you can see that video and see what your boy unboxed, man. Been getting some good books. Been very happy with how the collection's going. Every year, I feel like I say this has been my best year. After looking at the next few packages I have coming in, plus the books that are sitting to the right of me, some that are going to Dustin and some that are already slabbed, I'm very, very happy what I've done this year for us, investing, collecting, and all around, just, been happy with how the way the collecting game has been going. Some investments have not panned out. And the funny thing is, I can say this with no problem. A lot of books, I didn't purchase really any books at the big market going straight up hype. I think I did raw books, but I look for raw books with a lot of potential. I didn't really invest any slabs or anything at that time. But the sad thing is, I did buy stuff a year before that, and those books actually have dropped which is kind of weird, you know, when you buy books that you bought before kind of the boom. Um, and then the boom happened, those books actually go up a little bit. And now after the drop of those books have been very, it's been very sad. Speaking on like the FF2 I have and the FF6, which I think I'm going to end up cracking the FF6. I think I'm going to let Dustin roll the dice. I'm going to send that to CGC. And at worst case, it comes back the same 7.0. At best case, we might get a 7.5 bump. So I was actively selling that one. The deal never came through. So that won't be with the next group of books that are going to go to Dustin. Actually, some CPR. So the next group of books are going to be going to Dustin. I'm thinking on top of my head. Got that one. Got another one. I got about 3 or 4 books I'm going to be doing. Two, that's 3. So probably about 5 books. 5 books at least. I'll be doing a CPR on at least 5, maybe more. So that's going to be interesting how those turn out. I'm not sure. Micah says he still has a first Batgirl. I have one of those and a Talia al Ghul. I'm on the lookout for Talia al Ghul, but I am actually on the lookout for a 9.0 Talia al Ghul. And it's not at the moment right now. Actually, been knocking stuff off the list, my 2023 list. And that's on the list, but I want a specific grade. So I do want a 9.0 or better, or a raw copy that's an 8.5 or better, so I can probably press and get it to a 9. So that is the idea for the Talia Ghul. I already have a Batgirl. I would love to upgrade it eventually, but upgrading is not on my menu at the moment. I think I have a 4 or 4.5 of the Batgirl. Probably I would love to get a 5.5. You know, getting that mid grade 5.5 would be my max. So I'll probably look into that. Probably be one of those books I might we'll see how Dallas goes. Not Dallas. We'll see how New Orleans goes and see what vendors come. They had a vendor that I used to love doing deals with, Reach Rare Comics. They're not coming to New Orleans or going to Dallas next year, which is, I believe the Dallas one is a missed opportunity for them. But they used to always come to New Orleans, man. And I used to buy stuff from them, because they were one of my favorite boots. So I don't think, trying to think, I don't see myself meeting up with them in any time in the near future. They have a website, but I don't like dealing with the website. They do answer pretty quickly on Instagram, but I know they haven't answered back recently. But they're busy at Baltimore. But yeah, we'll see how New Orleans pans out. We'll see who's there, and I'll probably bring some books for upgrades and maybe some books that are for trade, and we'll see what we can do, man. If I still have the FF2, there'll probably be a book brought for trade. You don't see that book often at shows that I've noticed. The I have F3 as well, FF6. 3 I would love to hold on to. I would love to hold on to my 1 and my 3 and my 5. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, it's going to be very fun, very interesting. See how the next conventions hold. So New Orleans is next for me in January. Dallas will be in the summer. You more than what you can join, Chris. I didn't really even put it in the hunt chat. I'll actually drop it in this chat because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be. I just have to get my headset if you pop on. So, any of you guys who've chatted with me before, yeah. And it's not a pack and chat; it's an unpack and chat. Today's an unpack and chat. I only had one box, and I didn't know where it was coming from. So, and then when I unboxed it, I said, "Oh, I remember." So, yeah, I just had one thing to unpack. I have one thing to pack up. I'm just waiting for the person to pay. This is one book, and I have to pay Elite. It's like $5. Let me get my headset in case Chris joins up. But yeah, man. Next week we have me and Chris's. We do graphic content. Next week it's going to be a big week. Ahsoka episode drop by that time. So some people, a lot of people are talking about it today. What's up, Christina Payne? A lot of people are talking about it today, but we're gonna talk about it. I know we're gonna definitely talk about that Wednesday. Let's see, probably talk about the hunt as well. It says disconnected device not connected, Chris. I can't add you. I don't know. Let's see. He just left. But yeah. So I'm actually gonna pull up the paperwork for Dustin and probably start working on that. Hope one is the mechanics. I need to. Let's see here. I need to get all these books. Here. These books. Yeah. All right. So I can go over the books. Oh, there he is. He's back. I wasn't even looking at the game. What's going on, Chris? What's up?
Not much. I just
showed one book unpacked. So
picked
up this.
Angela.
This is first Angela and Marvel Comics. This is the 1 in 100.
Nice.
1 in 100. So end up picking up that my second copy of that. So that'll be the investment copy.
Nice. I actually have to. I have to pack up some books for Dustin, so I can get them out.
Me too.
Just because I'm trying to get those pressed and everything prior to this convention. So, trying to get that all done and set. I have my paperwork's all done. I did my homework, so that part's done. Just have to email that over to him, and then go ahead and just send the books. So that's the only tough part there. And then I just am waiting for I think I'm being relatively nicely patient, but just waiting for some books to come back from so to come back from CGC by way of Captured Collectibles. They actually had to I guess halt everything because of that hurricane that was happening last week. So from what I know, I think books are still being pressed, which is I can't get mad. That's a good thing. They're taking care of them, and it's just taking a little bit longer than I was hoping. But then again, when I really think about it, it's just like they it was the end of July when Terrificon happened, but then they were there the next week at the Boston Fan Expo. So it was like 2 weeks in a row they had all that stuff happen, and then whatever conventions have happened in between. So it's it just is what it is. Like it's just convention season, and they pretty much go to every show, which it's great if you need a facilitator. Like they're always there. The only thing is that because they have such a backlog, I think it gets a little backed up, and then of course any sort of natural disasters that will shut CGC and them down kind of delay things. But one thing I was kind of curious about, and I don't know if people ask this of CGC, but it seems to me that CGC doesn't go to as many conventions as they used to. I think they're now focused on doing those in-house signings, which is good and bad because it's like
the bad part is that it's more expensive. It's more expensive depending on the person. Yeah. Because if it's somebody like Rob Liefeld, it's actually cheaper to send it to CGC.
I saw that.
Like if you're getting a New Mutants 98 or 87 sign, it's cheaper to do it that route if he's doing the in-house signing than it is to meet him and say hello and thank you, blah blah blah. He charged like $150 to sign that book now. That's what he said on one of his live streams.
Really?
But
Wow.
yeah, but I think CGC was what like 80 or something, or whatever it was, or 100 or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But
Yeah,
I know it was cheaper. I know it was cheaper.
the last time I hey, you gotta go. Yes, goodbye. Go. No, keep going. Allie, please. All right, I'm.
Uh-oh. And I'm typing, so sorry, peeps. So I'll go over a couple of books that I'm submitting with Dustin through CGC, going to Dustin and going to CGC. So a few of them I don't think are 9/8. A few of them I think are 9/8 on the modern tier. So I got a Hulk 1 in 50, the Ed McGuinness variant. I'm doing a Star Wars Darth Maul photo variant newsstand, the year 2000. Vengeance 1 to 1 in 10, America Chavez. I believe it's a 9/8. I'm gonna let Dustin do his thing and hope for the best on that one. So that's some of the books that I'm sending out.
Yeah, we're trying to get. Well, she's supposed to be in bed right now, so it's just like she just shows up and she's like, "Oh, like no, you need to go to bed." So I'm not a mean dad. Like, oh, how dare you? Like, no. Just she's supposed to be.
We're all mean. We're all mean dads.
No, I just know better. It's like, look, you need to go to sleep because I know how this is gonna go. Because we actually have stuff to do during the day tomorrow, and she actually has a birthday party to go to. So it's just like it's gonna be basically waking up just like the same people for work. So it's just like so it's just like you need to go to sleep, like just like you're going to school. But what I wanted to say about the CGC thing was that the good and bad that I was talking about, also, because the expense of the signatures and stuff like that, varies. But then the other good and bad thing I think is that, it's just one of those things where you have, it's tough to be able to like, I guess the extended times that you have sometimes with facilitators just because, and it's not the facilitator's fault. Like I'm not, down on them or say anything bad. It's just one of those things where it's like, you got to think about it. Like if you're submitting all these books to one entity. I mean, just for one show. I mean, you got to think about the thousands of books they get every show, which is like, so it takes a while. It's just like, and if they're doing like a show a week, it's cumbersome. So it's just like, I wish CGC would show up to a few more events so that, a few more, conventions or shows so that, it's easier to get books to them so that you can, get things, I guess, back in a more timely manner and just not stress out some of these guys for doing all that stuff. But the thing that's tough, I think, with that is, I guess for CGC and their model, if it was a situation where, let's say, if they were, would it mean longer times? Because then instead of having a middleman do it, they're taking all those books on themselves, and maybe it's just so much tougher to get that done in a timely manner. So at least I guess this way, where they're just doing all these different signings, they can kind of control it a little more. They don't have as many just random things coming in all at once. It's just kind of, to me, it's a tough go just because like the convenience factor of it. I would like it to be a little bit more convenient, but unfortunately, that's where I'm at. So, but.
I've noticed it not going to as many conventions as well.
Yeah.
I think that all changed once COVID happened. I think they've been very limited of what they're doing. Some of the stuff it doesn't make sense, but that's why they have companies like Capture Collectibles that are making money because basically like if CGC did go to more things, they wouldn't exist. So that's kind of like what's going on because Capture comes to New Orleans Fan Expo, and if they did at CGC, which is very close, they wouldn't come here. You know what I mean? They wouldn't come.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they go to so many different. I mean, and they don't. It's not just traveling throughout the country. Like they actually go overseas too. Like they did that show in Italy.
That's because CGC doesn't go there, and they don't. They haven't made any deals with like a Del Auto or or
Yeah.
who's the other Matina,
Yeah.
they
It
haven't
was
made
like,
no deals with the Italian guys to be like, hey,
yeah,
come over here, or but I don't think those guys fly, so that's another issue.
probably. But that's like a huge get for those guys. It's like really like you get the like just like like I would say whenever you have a convention, like I think as far as Adi Granov is concerned, I think the only cons that I have ever heard of really him going to, and this is just me like not paying as much attention as I should, but I think he only ever really goes to New York and I think San Diego, and then he'll just do
Mhm.
other stuff like around his area. So it's just like
But that's like In Hook Lee too. In Hook Lee, he only goes to I think with like 3 or 4 conventions. Let's say 4.
he
Well,
went
it
to
might be more
Boston.
than 4. It might be more than 4. It might be 5
Yeah,
or half a dozen. But that's still not a
yeah,
lot. I mean, you know how many conventions there are in that go around. I mean,
yeah.
I think he went to San Diego. I think he's going to New York. He went to Dallas Fan Expo. He said he went to Boston or something. He said.
He went to Boston a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was a couple years ago. So now he didn't. You haven't. He probably didn't go this year.
Which
So so yeah.
because I would say if you're talking about Frank show,
No,
he's
no, no,
been
no, not Frank show. I'm talking about In Huck Lee.
no, I know. Well, he was saying does show do any signings?
Oh,
Like,
I'm not even looking at the check. I'm
no,
typing.
In Lee's coming from I think it's South Korea. So for him, I mean, it's just like he's got a long flight to get over here,
Yeah.
especially to get over to like the East Coast. It's like you're talking probably like 16, 17 hours, maybe longer. So it's a long flight. It's a lot of travel for him. I mean, that's why like I'm surprised. And I know you're not a big fan of him, but Simon Bisley does a lot of stuff here, and I know I think he lives in England, but he makes a trip over here a lot. So I wonder if he just has like a United States residence
Well,
and then kind of goes
well,
back
and
to
and that's why I think a lot of those guys do Dallas because Dallas is a big hub.
yeah,
Dallas is a big hub that you can fly international too. So I think like that's why we had it in Huck Lee and we had an Art Germ because of that the location of Dallas and easier to fly there. But
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, and in the scratch, I had a bad experience with Simon Bees, and maybe he was just not in the greatest of moods. So
yep.
I'll gladly give him another chance, but
You know what's funny
I'll
is he probably
very
wouldn't even
I'll very
remember you.
temper. I'll very have my I'll have my
What's up,
I
Lisa?
won't have my guard down like I did when I first met him.
Yeah, well, he like I've noticed that like he's a really nice guy overall. It's just I think like all artists you can kind of find people who are in just like different moods like because I don't know when you went to see
Mhm.
him, like maybe he was getting ready to do go on a break or something, and like you went up to him, hey, how's it going?
Actually, he just came. He actually came from a break, so.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like everybody, like he's an older guy. He's not decrepit, but he's older. So it's just like what? Maybe for him, he's just like what? I don't really feel like dealing with people right now. Like I had a similar
Mhm.
experience with Carlos Pacheco. People like oh, Carlos Pacheco's a sweet. I was like, he wasn't to me. That motherfucker was mad when I walked up to him. He's like, what do you
Mhm.
want? I was like, nothing at all. See you later, and I just walked away. And then Larry Hama was kind of he was a little bit strange too. He was kind of like, oh, I was like, yeah, and I was asking about GI Joe, and of course, I was like super excited. I was like, is there any GI Joe characters that you were, really excited to make, or seeing that story, were there any stories within there that you were really like near and dear because he's guy that was in the military and everything. So part of it is based on his own experiences, and of course he's hydrated too. And he was like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, okay. I was like, I can see how this is going. He just seemed. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
you're like, I'll
right.
eliminate us from talking anymore.
Yeah, I was like, what, it's all good. Like, I just want to say thank you, and I'm really excited to meet you. But but I've also heard that on the other hand, he's usually a really nice guy. So I mean, he was one of
Mhm.
my first stops. So you're talking about show just opened up. Guy probably hasn't even really had his coffee yet, so he's probably just like still groggy and waking up himself. So it's just kind of like, oh. Like, hey, how's it? And you get this guy, and what was your favorite this? And hey, sir, what was your favorite that? And it's like, yo, get the fuck out of my face. That's what he wants to say, but he's probably just like, oh, yeah, I don't know what you mean. So, it was all right. I mean, collectors like anybody else. Like, you know how that goes where it's just like, you go to work and all of a sudden, somebody comes up to you and was like, hey, Like I had to ask you all these questions. You almost wanted to be like, hey, listen, give me 5 minutes to get settled in, and then you can talk to me. But for right now, just take it down a notch. So
Yeah. So, and does show have any? I don't know. You'd have to check CGC's thing. I haven't heard anything about Frank Cho. I'm
he's been doing a lot
only
of conventions.
yeah. He actually goes to a lot of conventions. The only signing I'm actually probably I say the only one I'm gonna do, and I've been holding true to it is the J. Scott Campbell signing.
I think
I'm gonna send one thing for J. Scott.
I
I'll
think
say
for him,
one thing because if anybody knows those signings when you go through CGC, you pay an upcharge,
yeah,
and I don't know, it just sucks. That's all I can say. Upcharge sucks. It's expensive
yeah,
compared to like having them at a convention. You know what I mean?
yeah. But Jay Scott's a guy that honestly, like, I could see him starting to wind that down because I think that's another thing too, where a lot of artists are probably gonna start winding that down and not doing as much, because of the fact that they don't like oh, I can go to CGC and sign like 1,000 books for 2 or 3 days, and yeah, it sucks to do all that, but you know what, I can do that instead of traveling around. Yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? So I know I know Cho was at he was at
No, that is
Boston.
true. They did like Lisa saying they did show a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, and the one thing that I think everybody, it's funny too, because a lot of people really, really want him to do like the sketches, like he posts on Instagram. But the thing is
Mm-hmm.
that those things cost an arm and a leg. Like he if you're gonna get like one of those sketch cover things like for Frank Cho, it's gonna be expensive. Like you're talking about probably a couple of $1,000.
Yeah, and if they already did one, He Who Remains, appreciate you. I gotta give you a shout out, He Who Remains. He said, damn, I gotta give you a shout out for being a channel member. I'm doing a giveaway, He Who Remains. So stay tuned. Um, so definitely stay tuned for the giveaway. I'm actually gonna do a pretty good giveaway as well. So if you guys want to get on the giveaway and you're not a channel member like He Who Remains, who's going to get automatically entered in to win, you can do super chats to enter to win. And the super chats are going to be really, really easy to. So just check it out. Super chats, entered in to win. So stay tuned. He said, word on the street. I got.
Okay.
He said, word on the street, I got my CGC signing October. Working on out the deeds with CGC. Well, I don't know. I didn't know. He's just kidding. I was like, what are you talking about?
You know what's funny? And I'm curious. For some people that have stuff coming back, that I saw, like community members and stuff. I kind of do wonder, like who has the ability to like witness and send stuff in on their own, just because I know that some people that do art definitely have that. Like they can definitely go ahead and make a sketch or something like that and then send it directly in. So Comic Journey actually, I think, is working on doing that. I know there's an artist named George Deep who does that. Like he'll do a sketch cover, and if you commission him to do it, I'm sure it might cost a little bit extra for him to go ahead and submit it for you, but he'll go ahead and do that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you actually can do that. I know if you guys know Karate Kevin, who used to do the Superpower Hour and stuff like that. Like he actually got a chance. He actually did some sketches.
I'll show some of the books off
as an actual artist. So that I think is pretty cool. Like that there's actually community members that do art, and then also artists that you can get commissions from that can submit those commissions to CGC for you to get them come back as yellow label and stuff. So
yeah, I need to. I got some books. I only got one book. I want to get Jenny Friesen to sign, but I got to pay for it, so I don't think I'm gonna get it signed. So I'm just showing some books off that are for sale. People like He Who Remains has free shipping. So yeah, so that's for sale. Let me show you. And a lot of the stuff. Yeah, I'm just showing stuff because I'm trying to get rid of a lot of stuff.
Dude, I swung and missed on two auctions the last 2 days. I was so mad. The one I missed because it was one of my top books. I was pissed off because like I should have won that crap. I was so angry. Yes, God Tank is another one.
Yep, got it. So this is 4 times sign.
Yeah.
Surprised I still have this and nobody has made an. I had a lot of interest on Elite Comics 11 on this book, but I guess they were afraid to send offers. I have no idea. Then somebody messaged me, "Hey, do you do payment plan?" I said yes, and they looked at it and read it, and they haven't messaged back.
And then they just kind of. You know what it was? I bet you they were hoping that you would say no, and then they're like, oh shit, because they're probably wondering how much of a payment plan is going to be and how, you know what I mean. But the thing is, if you're gonna ask for a payment plan, you got to know that, like, you know, and I feel like that's kind of, not to say anything bad about anybody, but if you're gonna ask for one, you do it with confidence. Like, okay, I'm asking for a payment plan. Okay, cool. Sellers thinking that you're gonna do that, so and people are willing to work with you. It's just you just gotta be on the up and up and really come through with it. You can't just say it as a, oh, can I get a payment plan? Like, no, be real.
And He Remains, that Clone Wars is actually signed by Rosario Dawson too, who's actually not doing any conventions at the moment because of the strike.
Who? I'm trying to think. Rhode Island just got some new people. I forget. I'm trying to think who. I know that they got the cast. They got the Futurama cast, and they got somebody else. Because of the fact that like there's nothing going on. So it's just so funny how many people.
Yeah, you've noticed it's slowly trickling in.
Yeah.
Doing stuff, but like some of the bigger names, like Rosario Dawson. Like I only use her because they got the Ahsoka Stowe and stuff like going on, but she hasn't said, done anything. Even Hayden Christensen, he's doing a lot of conventions, but I think I only saw him up for New York. I don't even know if he's still doing New York, but I know he was.
He was at Boston. What was I gonna say? Who was it? They had somebody recently. I'm trying to see who it was because I know the Smallville cast is now gonna be there, and now I'm thinking, I'm trying to see who else. I saw it and I was like surprised, like, oh wow, they got these guys going too. It's was it Harry Hamlin? Harry Hamlin, who was Perseus in Clash of the Titans, the original one. He's going. Oh, what's it called? The cast of Charmed now is gonna go to the show. And this guy's new too. This guy, he did a bunch of voices named Jim Cummings. He did Darkwing Duck, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and what's his name? The Monterey Jack from the Rescue Rangers. Like, there's a lot of people that just kind of jumped in and like, yeah, I want to do this now because they have nothing happening. So they're like, yeah, I'll absolutely go on and do a show. So Molly Ringwald. Oh, that's right. And then that's what it was. The cast of the Breakfast Club is going to be there. Molly Ringwald and all those Anthony Michael Hall and no Emilio Estevez.
This would be cool to get signed by what's his name? Yeah, this would be awesome to get signed because this is actually the photo variant.
So he hasn't. I don't think he's done a
but
show.
I haven't seen him do a show in a while.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, he could definitely end up going down. I actually think a couple Power Rangers. Oh, your friend the Black Ranger's going. Black Ranger's going to be there, and I'm pretty sure
he was expensive as hell at that small convention. He seemed like he was a super nice guy. He was talking to people. People were having fun. All that was going on. But like I was saying, like he was very expensive, dude. Like,
yeah.
For a convention that costs like $20 for 2 days. You're kind of high. You're kind of high when you're $80 for a signature,
Oh, he's only 60 for this one. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was 80, and guess what? They didn't have that many people in that convention, and I definitely didn't see really any people that was going to pay $80.
No. But that's the thing that's just out of control, man. It's just like it's so funny too that and that's in November, so it's I guess a little bit telling that you get into a convention in the beginning of November, but more people are going on to it, so that means that strike is most likely going to last into November. Like if
if we get, I want to say, if we get past October, like say we get to Halloween and it's still going on, this people just realize it's going to go to the next year.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
because Thanksgiving is a week and Christmas to New Year's is like 2 weeks. So yeah, that's in those 2 months. People always, for school wise, that's kind of how I look at it. In movies and stuff, the TV is about the same. They don't work as much during that time. So you have 2 months, November, December, but you're gonna have like 3 weeks off.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
yeah. That like I was gonna say the same thing. Like if it's something where they're off, where you're seeing people being booked for a show in early November, that means that strike's gonna last beyond that. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff that gets pushed back and I think canceled, unfortunately, just because of the fact that like I was like one thing I'm and I know that they were getting to the point where they wanted to start shooting and everything, but something like Blade, I bet you if this lasts, like let's say worst case scenario, it lasts until next June or something like that, and they can't start doing anything until summer of next year, they're not going to make that Blade movie, or if they do, it's going to be pushed back like 4 years. Like it's not going to get done, and there's a lot of that's not going to happen as far as um, you know, um, within like, oh, it's coming out in 2025. Yeah, guess what? Add 3 more years to that. 2028 it's coming out because they got to get everything all sorted and everything else, and that's kind of just it's like I don't pay attention to it all that much. I just kind of look at different things, but I'm just wondering, like, what kind of like where they are in that whole negotiation process, and if they're even to the table to talk to each other, because that it seems like is going to be the first hurdle, and then actually coming up with an agreement between everybody to get everything taken care of. So we'll see what happens, because it's going to be a very interesting time where no new shows come out. Like this fall, everything that's been, I mean, hopefully everything's been done, but if not, then this fall is going to be all reruns. And, it's going to continue to be reruns all the way through. The only live stuff you're going to have is the news and sports and, things that are shot like game shows and stuff that are shot live that don't have actors to pay full out. Like you have a host and that's about it. But anything that has actual actors that, have recurring roles and all the rest of that type of stuff, you may not see anything new for a while. Unless they're just dealing their own thing, or they have their own kind of, or they have something worked out that's like, just all set. So, and then you gotta wonder what shows aren't gonna make it. Shows that were going strong, just again, no one, we gotta cancel this show. So,
yeah, I don't know. They're making a lot of announcements though for like different
yeah.
stuff.
Well, you know what's funny?
I don't know how.
Like the one show that I think I'm the most worried about not finishing, and I really mean it too. Like they've come this far, and it's just I get the feeling that we're not gonna get that last season of Stranger Things. I feel like season 4 is gonna be the last one. People are gonna either be like, I don't want to do this anymore, or they're just gonna have to scrap it. And Netflix,
and they are going to be too old. Like those kids look old as hell.
yeah, well, I mean, there's that, but like, I mean, people will suspend belief for that. But in terms of getting that last season, I think that season 4 is the last one, and they're gonna leave it on that cliffhanger because, and it's like, oh, they're gonna get the cliffhanger to get the last thing. Nope, I think that last episode is it. So, because I don't know. I mean, you still gotta figure that they have to shoot all that again and everything else. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like Cobra Kai will happen, absolutely, but Stranger Things, I think, might be in jeopardy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Hopefully they get their act together.
Well, something that would make you happy. I saw that Keanu Reeves has expressed interest in making a Chapter 5 to John Wick. So I don't know. I didn't see the 4th one, so I don't know where it left off. But if there's any sort of possibility that like there could be a sequel, like he's like, yeah, no, put me in it. I want to see it. So, and then Method Man wants to be what's his name? He wants to be Bishop. He said it. He's like, he wants to play Bishop. He said he's done the research. He's read all the books.
Yeah.
And he's gotten himself in the last few years in a great shape.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked. People don't realize he's very
huge.
cut up. Yeah, he's pretty. Yeah.
him and like he's not like Schwarzenegger big, but he's really in good shape. It's like what's it called? Redman is too. Redman's like not big and muscular, but he's cut. He's very cut. Like they did a thing. It was a men's health thing. It was it was Method Man, 50 Cent, and I forget
Busta
what
Rhymes.
it might have been Busta Rhymes, but it was those three like just kind of like posing together. And I was like, wow. I was like, I didn't realize that because 50 Cent had gotten fat for a little bit. I didn't realize he got himself into good shape again.
Yeah, he was the type of person though. It's pretty easy for him to get back in shape.
Yeah,
So, some people are like that. Some people are like that. Me, I'd have to freaking.
not me. I'm not. I can get as round as you want me to get, but getting into good shape that doesn't happen.
I had to like stop eating. I'd have to stop eating. Probably no more soft drinks, straight water. I'd have to exercise probably 6 days a week. And I'm not even trying to lose a lot. It'd be like I'm trying to lose like 35 pounds.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not motivated.
No.
He said at least I said Buster got too big. Buster actually got very fat, and then I think I forgot he tells a story about it, and I don't know if he was breathing heavy or something happened.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
Yeah, and he definitely changed his diet.
Yeah, he like well that was the thing like it was funny when he first got big like not like fat but when he first was like just huge, people were like whoa, that's Busta Rhymes now. And it's like, yeah, Busta Rhymes is like he's like a bodybuilder. Dave Chappelle got big like that.
Dave Chappelle got big like that. They thought he was on freaking steroids.
Yeah,
it's like you better laugh at my jokes.
Yep. Yeah, it's just what was it? You know who else actually did a similar thing was Action Bronson. Action Bronson was real big, and he decided that he was gonna start doing and taking himself into getting healthier, and like he actually got himself like he's not obviously like the picture of health and nothing like that, but he got himself to the point where he went from being the guy that's eating all these different foods all over wherever to in shape enough that he can get into a wrestling ring and actually do a couple of matches. Because I think he's had 2 wrestling matches with AEW, which is insane to me. It's like, wow.
Well, you know what I noticed, and to go back on talking about the writers and stuff, and you know what I noticed. This is when I noticed the strike was going to be longer than people realized. Is when John Cena said he was coming back.
Yeah.
Or what, like a month and a half or something?
Yeah, he's booked for a while.
Yeah, so when he said he was coming back, because he's one of those guys, he hadn't reached that the Rock tier. See, the Rock doesn't have to come back to wrestling. He has so much money that he can wait it out and stuff like that. So it's but people like John Cena, he's making a lot, but he's probably living above what he should live off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's probably he's a millionaire, but he's probably living instead of living like a thousandaire, he's living like a millionaire. You're like, hold on, you're barely a millionaire, John Cena.
I mean, I think he's definitely made money. He's probably doing, but like he's definitely at the point where his lifestyle and how
I doubt his net worth is more than 20 million.
I don't know. It might be.
We gotta look it up.
Because he was making good money, I think, at WWE. I think it was somewhere in the 5 million range.
Actually, no, he has actually a very high net worth. His net worth is actually 80 million.
Yeah. So I mean, but like you're saying though, it's just like 80 million in the grand scheme of things, it's $80 million. It's like you can if you're living.
Actually, it says 60 million now. It says 60, close to 60 million. So it just depends on, I guess. Yeah.
You can burn through that.
That's what I said. If you live in that lifestyle that he's living, probably got personal chef, and all that stuff.
No, that's the thing with anything. Once you end up getting, paid, good money and making like a lot of it and everything like that, it's just like, okay, so now you can enjoy more things. But it's just like, even if you're making, even let's put it this way, if you're spending 100,000 a month and you get 80 million in the bank, you can't do that for too long unless you continue to make money. Just because once you get past a year, that's 1.2 million dollars. So it's like it'll take me 60 years to spend all this money. That's what you think. Like if you like you
You could, yeah, if you don't keep making it, you can easily spend it, and you can
Oh
have
yeah.
you can have bad investments. I mean,
Yep.
look at LeBron James. I mean, even though I'm sorry, I'm using him as a comparison of what he spends because we know he spends $1 million just on his body. That's just like probably like medicine, stretching. I don't even know if that includes the food, and it's probably just food for him, but he spends $1 million just on his body. That's a year.
Yeah.
And so like somebody like John Cena is probably doing the same thing, but
Oh yeah.
he's not LeBron James level as making money.
No, not
you
at
know,
all.
$1
And that,
million a year for somebody whose net worth is 60 million, he can blow through that pretty quickly
yeah.
if he's
Oh yeah.
spending just $1 million on his body, not his house, not his cars, because he has actually a car thing.
Oh yeah.
If anybody knows John Cena, travel, because a lot of these guys, they can't do this anymore, which they've done. Because The Rock has flown through like New Orleans airport, stuff like that, but they can't do that anymore. So they got to fly private. They got to fly private. So
Yep.
who knows how much they're spending on that? Because not all of those celebrities actually have jets, because those jets are expensive. Like a person like The Rock, yes, he has a jet, but a person like John Cena doesn't have a jet. He's probably borrowing The Rock's jet, and he has to pay whatever fees it is.
Yeah. So that part of things is expensive, and then just and we're not even talking about just like, oh, I want to have some fun. It's just like just your regular average everyday thing. It's just like and that it comes with the territory. Like when you have that kind of money, because I know a lot of people like, oh, I would just kind of move this and that. Like I know like this, like when it comes to like hitting like that, whatever it was, the Powerball or whatever it was, like it's $1.35 billion. If I hit that, I probably it's not like if I hit like a regular lottery that's like let's say like $500 million, I could probably stay in Massachusetts. You hit $1 billion, I had to move out of Massachusetts. There's no way around that. I have to leave Massachusetts and go, just because it's just like, not that like I think everybody in the most gonna come looking for money and nothing like that, but it's just like,
and if you didn't leave, you'd have to go to an exclusive place where people at certain caliber live.
you would have to look at it where it's like, where can you honestly live and have like a straight gated community where you're kind of by yourself and not have to worry about anything. It's like, well, and I don't know how many billionaires live in Massachusetts. I don't think if any, I would say the number is probably less than 10, easily. So it's just like, I don't know if there's a lot of billionaire communities. I know that there's billionaire communities in Connecticut. There's billionaire communities in New York and California, and probably other places where you wouldn't even think. Is like, yeah, like 5 or 6 billionaires live in the middle of Minnesota somewhere. It's like, oh.
They don't. They like in my state, my whole state, we have one billionaire, and she's the one that owns the Saints. She owns the Saints and the Pelicans. It's Tom Benson's wife, Gail Benson. Well, he passed away, but he gave everything to his wife, Gail Benson. She's the only billionaire in our state, in my state. So.
Yeah. So it's like I had to move in. I had to like talk to Bob Kraft, like, hey Bob, like where can I live, man? Because I'm in your tax bracket now. So and at the very bottom of your tax bracket, if anything. So where can I live? I had to ask Bob Kraft. It's just like it's just one of those things where it's just like
But I say this though, if I could manage having that type of money more so than manage having that type of fame, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah,
you have a certain
absolutely.
level of fame, like I couldn't be The Rock fame, because you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. You can't be Drake. You can't. I can name a whole bunch of people who might not be as rich as like The Rock, but they're so famous that they can't do anything.
No, exactly.
And I wouldn't want to be that. But you got people who are millionaires and billionaires who can walk around more freely than those people are named.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I'd still be able to probably walk around freely and stuff, but it's just like, like the point that I'm making is just that like where a lot of people are like, oh, just buy a nice house and live like 5-6 towns over and not have a problem. Like, no, you can't really do that because people are gonna know like, oh, that's the billionaire. The
You'd
billionaire
have
just
to
moved
buy a block. You'd have to buy the block.
something where like nobody knows, or something where basically you're able to just kind of live amongst everybody and no one's gonna know that like, oh, I'm just this. But like,
Oh,
you
you
can't
have
just
to
move.
go. But you'd have to go somewhere like that's why a lot of millionaires are moving to Dubai
Oh, I
because
would never move to
guess
Dubai. Too far.
because guess what? Everybody else who's around you are it's like you most likely have money, so you don't have to really worry about anything. And it's one of the safest cities in the world, if
Yeah,
not
no,
the safest city in the world. So it's like.
that yeah, I agree with that. I just think that like for me, it's just like I wouldn't want to move that far away from everything, like because that's like I mean that's across
But
the
you got that
world.
type of money. You're not moving that far away from. You can move people with you that you want to be with you, and
Yeah,
you and guess what? When you feel in the itch to visit something or be something, you have that type of money. You can be like, all right. Hey, I'm going to visit Boston. When? Look now. You don't
yeah,
have any
no,
luggage. You don't have any luggage. I can buy stuff when I get
I just
there.
wouldn't. Well, that would be the crazy part is like I mean, and I know everybody fantasizes about like, what would you do if you won all this money? It's like and everybody has that whole deal, but it's just like, you know, the reality of that would be very, very different though. And as much as you want to make these are the things I would do, which is like, okay, and somebody would probably explain to you like these are why you can't do those things, like just because to be financially, because that's the thing too, like you said, like you can move a bunch of people with you. Well, now you're going to be responsible for all those people. So it's like, depending on who you're moving with you, like I want to have like 5 or 6 of my best friends. It's like, okay, so then you're going to have to pay for everything for them and that could be part of the reason that you end up going broke. Cause it's like, well, these people, like you brought them with you. So you gotta keep them cause I know it's just like, well, who would you bring? Well, immediate family. Okay, great. And then a couple friends just for fun. Yeah. But then it's just like, something like that, it'd be tough. But like at least this way, it's just like stay. Like if I was able to stay where I am from initially, at least in Massachusetts somewhere. It's like all right, everybody move over here. You can still go to your normal jobs and everything else, but we at least live closer. Isn't that fun? Like this is our playground. This is our public pool or private pool that's public to us that live here. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of fun. This is our
Yeah,
AM movie theater.
yeah, like because you got. Yeah, I couldn't be. I wouldn't want to be famous because, I mean, look at someone like Britney Spears. She has to bring a security person with her everywhere she goes. It's
Yeah,
like,
and everybody wants your downfall. That's the other thing too. Like anything bad that happens to you, people can't wait to be like, see, look, good, you got what you deserved. Like I just got hit and had a rock. You got what you deserved. Like I didn't do anything. Or like a tire blew on your car. Good. Why is that good? That's not fair. I didn't do anything to you. But yeah, fame is such a double-edged sword. Whereas it's like it's great to have it, just because everything's at your fingertips. You can, fame and fortune. It's just like fortune is the fun part.
and a
Fame
lot of
is
fame,
the
a lot of famous people actually don't have fortune. I could actually tell so many stories about famous people that my wife have to deal with because she works for a big hotel in New Orleans,
yeah,
and they'll give her the credit card, and the credit card is declined.
yeah,
So like, oh yeah, this credit card's declined. Oh, look, try this one. And you're like, wait, you're supposed to be making all this money. Why are you using credit cards? And first off, if you're using them, why are they maxed out? Why are they declined? So it's like so many celebrities, you'd be surprised, who actually don't have money. Um, it's crazy. That's why like that strike is kind of going. All people like, oh, these millionaires and making all that money is only like 1% of those people are actually at that level where you don't have to worry about nothing. So it's just like the regular population. So a lot of those people work paycheck to paycheck. You'd be very surprised they work paycheck, and that's kind of like the touch of being famous because they're famous because they're on all kind of projects, but they might not be rich and famous.
yeah.
They might be well off and famous, well off, meaning that they don't have to live in a hood, live in a
Yeah.
housing development. But for them being famous, they got to live in a gated community. That's probably a little tad bit out of their means. But guess what? They
Yeah.
got to.
Well, the best was and I think one of the more honest I guess opinions that you'll hear about that was Chris Rock. He did a stand-up special a few years ago, and he's like, I do all right. He's like, I do pretty good. He's like, he's like, but I'm not. He's I'm rich. I do all right. I do pretty good. He's like, but he's like, but I ain't wealthy. He's like that's not me. And he was saying like the people that he lives around. He's like, I would say that in terms of being a comedian, I'm one of the top comedians you can get. He's like, you know who my next door neighbor is? A fucking dentist. He ain't the best dentist in the world. He ain't the greatest dentist that ever lived. He's just a regular old take your teeth out dentist. And it's just like, but it's true. It's like, like he looks at it where it's just like, he's just kind of doing his thing, and he knows he's got good money, and he's got enough to be able to give his family a better life and to live comfortably and do all that. But I think he's very aware that it can all go away very quickly, and it's just like I think a lot of people kind of don't think that way. Where it's like, oh, I have $350 million in the bank. It's like make a couple bad choices, and that million, and you'll be down to maybe one or two. And it's funny because you're like, wow, you got $350 million and you still have one or two, and somebody be like, wow, I had a couple million in the bank, I'd still be good. Like, yes, but when you're coming from having 350 of them to be down to like, let's say 10, that's a huge fall, and that's enough to really make you think twice about everything, because it's like, oh shit, what have I done? I had $350 million, now I'm down to 10. I'm broke. And it's just like, think about it like that way. If you're living, the 1,000-day lifestyle, and just like, you had 20 grand in the bank, and now all of a sudden you're down to, 4, you might be like, shit, I'm broke. I can't spend any more money. I had 20,000 in the bank. Now I'm down to 4. I gotta stop being careful, because pretty soon I'm gonna be down to 1 or less. So, and I'm just using examples of money just because who knows? Like, if you have 20 grand in the bank, good for you. Because, I know a lot of people that don't even have close to that. I'll raise my hand. I don't have close to that. That's my reality. But yes, that was a good Chris Rock stand-up. It wasn't Bring the Pain. It was, I think it was the one that was that he did, and they pieced it together over 3 or 4 different shows. But he was in England. He was in, I think, England, Africa, and one other place, and he was doing it. And I forget the name of it, but it was like it was one of his last like couple stand-ups, because I know he did the 2 on Netflix, and then I think he did 1 or 2 more on HBO after he did that one. So, and the one that stands out the most for him, his biggest one was Bring the Pain. And that was, I want to say, like 99 or very early 2000. It was somewhere in there, because that was around the time Lethal Weapon 4 had come out. But yeah, and if I had to guess, and I don't fully remember, because I remember Bring the Pain's one where he has the microphone like that. I know that DVD because my friend has it, and we watched it to death. And that's the one with has the music videos for I Love Champagne and No Sex in the Champagne Room. Yeah, right. I know the No Sex in the Champagne Room is definitely one, and then I think it's I Love Champagne. I think he did both those songs. I don't remember, but
I had a phone call. Probably gonna end it here. He who remains.
That's moisturizer.
He who remains, and Lisa Nova. I think you guys maybe don't know who's watching, so appreciate. Leave a thumbs up. Like I said, I did. Yeah. It was a quick unpack, and more of the chat version. I only had one book to unpack because I totally forgot what it was, where it was from. So if you want to see that, just have to rewind it from the beginning. Kind of just hang out, I guess, backstage if anybody wants to chit chat and just chilled until the hunt. So definitely check out the hunt tonight. I think about 10:15 Eastern, 10:15 if I'm not mistaken. It's 10:15. Oh, it's later. No, it's
No, so it's
No,
11.
it's 11. It's 11:15 Eastern. 11:15 Eastern.
So
11:15
basically,
Eastern. I'm sorry. So 10:15 my time.
yep. So about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes or so from now, the hunt will be on. So,
Yeah, because
but
it's 9:52 on the East Coast.
yeah. So I also put up a video today.
Oh yeah,
Not as long as the other one I did, but definitely a shorter, sweeter video. But definitely check that out, and leave comments on that too if you want to ask me any questions or anything like that. Just because I feel like that's one thing that I enjoy a lot, and I'd like to start to get more comments, talk to more people throughout, do the comments and everything like that, and then just kind of have some conversations with people. But go ahead and check that out if you haven't yet, because it should be. I mean, I know I put it up right before.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it was like 50 minutes ago. I see it.
Yeah, so it's about an hour ago.
And it's like under 10 minutes. So y'all guys go check that out. Definitely go.
That's a record for me.
That's a quick. Yeah, I want to say that's a quick video. So definitely go check that out. Yeah, myself, I'll be doing more Unpack and Chats.
Yeah.
And hopefully some packing chats. So I'll be doing some more unpacking chats. I have some stuff coming in the mail. I'll be dropping a video right after the hunt. So in case you don't catch the hunt, you can see the book that I show on the hunt. And I'll be dropping another video maybe the next day. I'll be dropping 2 videos that are pre-recorded. So definitely check those out when I drop them.
Yep.
And next week we got graphic content, man. Graphic content.
Yep.
I forgot what episode. Yeah, forgot what episode. But definitely I'm looking forward to talking some Ahsoka. A lot of people are talking that today, but it's kind of good when we're doing it because they're going to have another episode.
Exactly.
So we could actually go a little deeper talking about it. A lot of people are talking about, this is a good little insight. A lot of people are talking about it. Like the last episode was the best episode ever. And I was like, this is just my insight really quickly. I was like, the first 2 episodes I really enjoyed, so I don't know what's going on. So to me, it was on par with the first 2 episodes. So I don't know what did I miss. I don't know what's going on. But people saying this last episode was the best ever, and I'm like, I feel like it was the same as episode 1 and 2. That's just me.
For everybody who was like so excited and like, oh, it's the greatest shit, I want to highlight something that Lisa said, because everybody has been giving the actors a hard time about the strike and about a lot of different things, and it's like, oh, it's the greatest shit. Get ready, because it's not going to be there for a while. You have to get used to that. So just remember, while you see the thing and you enjoy it, just remember the next time, maybe people will be a little bit less harsh on things when they have to wait for these things a little longer. But I definitely will be looking forward to checking out some more Ahsoka on there, just because I didn't see this week's episode yet. But I've enjoyed the show so far. I think it's been really good. And I think that, they definitely have something special with the show. And it's going to be something I think that really helps catapult Star Wars going forward into some, I think, better storytelling and everything like that. And, it's something that I think universally, I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it yet. So I think it's universally liked. So it's good to hear that for a change.
And if people don't believe the actors can't advertise, can't promote, and that, because it does play a factor in my opinion, because they got probably people that follow Rosario Dawson on Instagram might not have Disney Plus, have no idea what the hell, and that there might be, like, because it does happen. People have no idea what on that end of the thing, and they would watch stuff like that, but she's not promoting it, and so they don't know. And if people don't believe it, all you got to do is go to her Instagram, and she has nothing about Ahsoka Tano since July 11th. Since July 11th.
No, exactly. And it's funny too, because was it that Equalizer? That's funny because the Equalizer movie I've seen, so they had, I don't even know if he's a comedian. I know he's an Instagram personality. There's a guy that does a really good Denzel impression. He's been the commercial.
Oh yes, yeah.
He has been the commercial of that movie, and now they're like putting like random different things from that movie or random different things from that character with other things. Like there's something about him advertising the NFL season coming back. It's like football's back. He's like, yeah, he's like, you gotta get out there and win. That's what you have to do. You don't accept defeat. I was like, so they're just it's so funny though. I'm like I've seen this Instagram guy, like he's popped up in my feed a bunch of times, and he just says just random things as Denzel. And it's just like that guy is because Denzel himself can't promote the movie. That guy's getting so much exposure now, and it's just like I would love it if that guy ended up getting some type of like legitimate fame out of it because he just does a good Denzel impression. Like that's incredible.
Yeah. So, well, let's get off here. My wife just called, so I'm gonna call her back. Anybody wants to hang out? I know it's only one person in here. I'll still drop the link anyway, but I know nobody will. So you guys can come hang out. He remains. If you don't want to show your face and just come chat, it's not a problem, sir. Not a problem. But we'll give you. I'll give people a few more seconds to join, and then we'll end it. So you get this video, and then you're gonna get a video right after it.
Nice night.
Mm-hmm. Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.